Well, hello everybody. It is another absolutely beautiful day here in the sunny Okanagan Valley. That's not just something we call it, it's ridiculously sunny here most of the time. And if it's going to be anything like yesterday, it's about to be a cooker. So you can hear everybody's running around mowing their lawns, trying to get it done before the heat of midday. And I'm no different. I thought today, kind of by request from Benja there, we're going to take a look at the potatoes and the rest of the roots and tuber garden. Some of it is, well, it's toast, you know, but some of it's doing all right. So I'm learning a lot regardless of the eventual outcome, and it's, well, education is worth itself, isn't it? Let's take a look at those potatoes first. We'll move around, carrots, onions, blah, blah, blah. Let's get started. So you can see, looking at these 4 potato buckets, that they are in poor shape. This one here has been almost completely annihilated, and we are going to end up turning that to see how it looks today, because there's no point in letting that grow on. This one here I'm going to try and cover up. This one here I'm going to try and cover up. And I just don't know about this one yet. But either way, they're going to the back. They're getting a little bit more dirt and probably pillbug traps. That may be an independent video, I don't know. The carrots are looking pretty lush and green. I give these guys good watering probably twice a day already. And they're sort of making it. Let's see, still pulling the occasional baby carrot out of there. It's not going to be one of those super bountiful carrot reveals at the end of the season, but sure has been a lot of great nibbles along the way. Just toss that down over the onions. Follow some of Ray's advice. We all watch Ray, right? Anybody who doesn't watch Praxis 55712, stop the video, go subscribe, come back, finish the video. Anyway, here are those onions. You can see this one here is getting decent growth on it. Those seed onions, yeah, not so much. Here's what's left of those radishes. They're not even calling on the bees anymore. So I think I've decided next year I'm going to try and time it so that these things will be done by the end of April at the latest. Because by May it was already starting to get too hot for these poor things. Moving around to the backyard here. Shade wasn't quite enough for the turnips, so they too will be set up to be harvested by the end of April next year. The beets are making it though. A few weeds in there, and looks like they could use some more water, but they are surviving. Let's see if we can pull one of those up. Random beet from in the middle. Well, it's about radish sized right now, but that's growth. Well, it seems like the turnips and the radishes are off to that great compost heap in the sky, or in this case, in the backyard under the sunflowers. Well, that pretty much wraps up the roots and tubers update. Now we're going to get into the mad science. I don't know how many of you watch the videos from Goforgreen Living, Brother Dan down there, but I was watching one just a few minutes ago, in the middle of making this video, in point of fact, about grafting tomatoes to potatoes. So maybe I won't compost those ones that are looking pretty dead. Maybe we'll try a little mad science. In that big wind and rainstorm we had a little while back, these 2 side tomatoes took quite a beating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these back, and we're going to use them for our grafts. Grafts? I should learn to enunciate. Oh, I'm loving the look of this thing. Anyway, on topic, Mr. Bear. Some painful cuts right there, and I've got some cleanup to do, but we're going to the compost, so might as well do it there. So with this potato that I'm going to try and save and leave as just a potato, I need to fill this up a little bit, and then we're going to put in a trap for the mostly harmless pillbugs that I'm pretty sure caused all of this destruction. So, mostly harmless, at best. Now that we've got some soil in there, I have learned, mostly by accident over my gardening adventures, that pillbugs pretty much cannot resist an open hole or a shady spot. So we're going to take advantage of both of those things to put a little pillbug trap in here. I'm going to fill up the edge around that, and then we'll get to making the shady part of it. So I brought the soil right up to the lip so they can just walk right in and get interested and fall down. And I'm just going to put a piece of good old-fashioned cardboard in to make a shady spot. We can check on this from time to time, but I already know for a fact there will be pillbugs in there before the end of the day. So that is a super easy possible potato saver but definitely pillbug trap. Alright, now to the mad science of grafting tomatoes and potatoes. Alright, so I strongly recommend you watch Dan's video if you want to see how to do this, but I'm going to cut out this middle sucker here, and I'm going to make sure I cut it in a wedge. I'll show you that in a second here. And when you do that, you're going to want to make sure you use something exceptionally sharp, which is why I've pulled out Granddaddy's scalpel. And as you can see in the heat, this thing is already wilting, so we had better get on it. So I want to make sure I cut the right part of this. I want the growing tip, I think. So I'm going to cut that right there. And I'm going to cut this one right there, where I'm sure it's the growing tip. I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to do this next bit single-handedly, but the point here is to cut straight down into the stem so we can wedge that tomato cutting right into it. Then once we've got that cut, we're just going to join the wedges and find some way to make it stay together. Apparently you're supposed to use paraffin tape for this. Don't have any. I've got plumber's putty. Gonna try that. Well, it's not the prettiest graft on the internet, is it? Alright. 2 different colors of stalks there. That's kind of interesting. Now to try and get this one in there before I melt and the plant dies. Well, is that going to work? I have no idea, but it's too hot to continue playing today. That I know will work, so in theory, I should have saved that potato plant. May have killed this one, but who knows. Alright everybody, well I am positively melting out here today, so I am going to wrap this up. Thanks for joining me, and let me know in the comments down below if you think this is going to work or not. I'm also going to make sure I throw a link in the doobly-doo to Dan's channel there. That's Goforgreen Living, and I'll probably toss in a card up there somewhere too, you know, where the airplane is. Alright everybody, have a fantastic day.